Welcome to tonight's edition of A Current E-Fair. I am your host, Jordan Whittington. Tonight, we will be presenting and discussing a highly important issue in today's society. That being that environment and sustainable in education is a cross-curriculum priority in Australian schools. I am joined by specialists in the education field, Katie Spring from the Department of Education, Nicole Essler, a Grade 1-2 classroom teacher, and Chantal Walker, who is also a classroom teacher working with Grade 3-4 students. Katie, thank you for joining us tonight. You're here to help us understand where the environment and sustainability fits into our current Australian curriculum at this point in time. Would I be correct in saying that it is currently a cross-curriculum priority? And if so, what does this exactly mean?
Jordan, sustainability has become a cross-curricular priority to give meaning to the word sustainability for future generations, rather than just being a meaningless buzzword. By being a cross-curriculum priority, sustainability can be integrated into students' learning in multiple ways through different core learning areas. This creates more flexibility in the way teachers can provide learning experiences to their students regarding sustainability.
Okay. So Katie, why is it important that the Department of Education includes sustainability in the Australian curriculum at all? What is the reasoning behind this?
Actions to improve sustainability are both collective and individual endeavours, shared across global and local communities. This is a reason why it is in the Australian curriculum, so that it may open the conversation comfortably with students.
Thank you so much for your time, Katie. I'd like to now direct the panel's attention to some responses from some senior primary school students. Keeping in mind that environmental and sustainable education studies is a cross-curriculum priority and therefore not mandatory, and this is a sample of the students' understanding today. I think it could be said from these responses that these students are lacking in a deep understanding of the environment and sustainability. What would you say, Chantal?
I disagree. I would argue that these children are more than aware of their environment without education, and the view that they've gained is negative enough without this being reinforced in the classroom.
So Chantal, is environmental and sustainable education an approach you personally undertake in your own classroom?
My personal view of sustainability and environmental education is that it enforces nothing but negativity and scaremongering of young and impressionable minds. The topic of climate change is one that children do not need to worry about. It is a concept too big and too complex and will do nothing but create fear for their future. I brought some research here with me by Dunn in 2012. He suggests that children in education are culturally seen as innocent and vulnerable. I believe it is therefore our job as educators to protect the innocent and preserve the early years of life, as our society and cultural beliefs demand it. We should make these as stress-free as possible, and it is my personal opinion that incorporating sustainability into the curriculum will do nothing but create fear and spread it amongst our young children.
Okay, so your outlook on the teaching of environmental sustainability in schools is that it has a negative effect on children, so causing undue stress. So would you say that the cross-curriculum priority that this topic has been given is suitable?
Yes, Jordan. That's exactly what I'm saying. Sustainability belongs where it is as a cross-curriculum subject. We as teachers have enough important things to educate children about, such as mathematics and literacy, things that will create real life skills and truly make a difference in their lives and their future. Teaching children about sustainability and the environment belongs in the hippie section of the cross-curriculum, where we have the option to teach about things that don't really matter just to please the politically correct.
So Chantal, what would you say to those who disagree with your views?
I would say that there is a reason that sustainability is in the cross-curriculum, and it is not our job as educators to dispute that. Auswell's even states cross-curriculum priorities are embedded in all learning areas. They have a strong but varying presence depending on their relevance to the learning area. It is my understanding as an educator, therefore, that we are free to interpret the cross-curriculum as we see fit, and that scaring our children about issues such as climate change has no relevance in my students' lives or supports their well-being.
A very passionate view there. Thank you, Chantal, for your time. Now, every debate has two sides to it, so the floor is now yours, Nicole. I could see you're bristling over there while Chantal put her ideas forth, so I'm assuming you'll have a very passionate response. So over to you.
Thank you for having me tonight, Jordan. I am adamant that environmental and sustainable education should become a part of the core curriculum within Australia. Courtney Hall, Arlberg and Philho, 2001, support my strong opinion, as they too believe that environmental education is providing students with access to information that may encourage them to behave in an environmentally sound way in the future.
I speak for the trees. Let them grow. Let them grow. But nobody listens too much, don't you know? I speak for the trees, and I'll yell and I'll shout for the fine things on earth that are on their way out. They say I'm old-fashioned and live in the past, but sometimes I think progress progresses too fast.
It is a well-known fact that there is only limited coverage of sustainable education within any Australian education, as it is not deemed as compulsory. My concern is that key issues such as global warming and climate change are going to become issues that our future generations will know limited about. Within the Australian curriculum, the cross-curriculum priority sustainability is concerned with the ongoing capacity of the Earth to maintain life. It includes the notion of intergenerational equity and conceptualises sustainability, learning as both individual and collective, as active and as learning that leads to students developing an overall capacity to contribute to a more sustainable future in terms of environmental integrity, economic viability and a just society. If the government is so adamant on having a sustainable future, shouldn't this process begin with the education of our future generations? The Australian curriculum also suggests that education for sustainability develops the knowledge, skills and values necessary for people to act in ways that contribute to a more sustainable patterns of living. This is, in fact, in agreement with the intent of the Melbourne Declaration of 2008.
Indeed. So you are saying that if the curriculum places such responsibility on education for sustainability, it then makes sense. It should have its rightful place as a core subject within it.
Well, yes, Jordan. My whole issue is that I feel that we are disadvantaging ourselves as a population if we are not taking the initiative and making sustainable education a part of the core curriculum. It should not be left up to the discretion of the teacher to decide whether they feel it is important to include it in their classrooms. To sum it up, Jordan, I feel that we are really creating an inequitable world, and if we don't make change now, I'm seriously concerned about what our world will look like in 30 years from now.
Thank you so much, Nicole, for your time and knowledge tonight, and to the whole panel. So there you have it, sustainability as a cross-curriculum priority in Australian education, which it currently is. Tonight we have presented you with arguments for and against the topic taking its place in the curriculum as a core subject. We'd like to hear your responses to this crucial topic, which you can send to at the following address: nkjack1@student.monash.edu. We'll leave you now with a snippet from a controversial documentary, Project Wild Thing, created by filmmaker David Bond. As a pre-service teacher, parent, or anyone who has any contact with children in your life, I urge you to watch this movie. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Jordan Whittington, and remember, education is the key.
Never in human history have we spent so little time in physical contact with animals and plants. Scientific evidence shows that we miss nature. Patients with a natural view from their room recover faster and require fewer painkillers than those that look out over a city. Prisoners with cell windows with views of nature have lower stress symptoms and fewer illnesses. University students with natural views score better on tests. Workers who see trees and flowers are less stressed and report fewer illnesses. And that's just a view of nature. If you actually go into it, the results are amazing. Being among plants produces lower concentrations of stress hormones, lower blood pressure, and boosts the immune system. People who meet in nature build a sense of community, and their prejudices about race and economic or educational status are reduced. Time in green settings reduces children's ADHD symptoms. The more nature we get during childhood, the more we want as adults, and the less we get, the less we want. Time spent outdoors gives us a sense of oneness with nature and with the universe, and being in nature can lead to transcendental experience.